Gorilla Tag is nearly 4 years old now, and over those 4 years, there have been some updates that very few people know about. So today, I'm going to show you the versions that everyone forgot about. Alright, so for the first update, we have the third ever release of Gorilla Tag, and this Gorilla Tag update is really weird, because they didn't even have city. They only had a hats room. This is so small, and I remember that even people had like mods and stuff right here. They had the early access badge. These are the only cosmetics you could ever wear for this update. Purchase the early access supporter pack DLC to gain access to these cosmetics. Currently only available on PC VR through Steam. So back then, only Steam players could get cosmetics. In order to buy them, you couldn't even press a button in the game. You have to like physically go to the app and like scroll on your computer to find it and buy it, which is really weird to me. They didn't even have Siren. That is very creepy. Why does it look like the map is higher up? Oh my gosh, there's no slippery wall. They only had like one hit sound, I think, which was this. Oh wow, so Secret Tunnel was still here and it looked quite a bit different. There's like this really weird ridge in the wall. I don't know what that's supposed to be for, but I do know that Lemming put this here for a reason. We didn't even have canyons or anything. There's not exactly a ton to showcase or a ton to like do in this version, but it was a much more of a simpler time where you could just play the game and hang out with your friends. I love the way that the graphics in this game look so pixelated. Like, another thing I noticed is all of the walls look kind of slanted in this version for some reason. They're kind of really weird, but it is easier to climb up now. Treehouse also looks a little bit different. It's a lot darker in here. The hitbox for the gorilla, I notice, is really weird. Like, it's a lot harder to wall run because your hitbox is like a lot bigger. It's very exhausting. I don't know why. It's just really hard to move around in this version. Probably because this was the very early stages of Gorilla Tag when Lemming was still figuring out the movement. Anyways, let's make our way over to the next version. The next update that we have is the Christmas update from last year, and this has a lot of cool stuff that you can check out, but it was pretty forgotten if I'm being honest. We still had the old wardrobe, we had this nice Christmas tree. It was really cool, and we even had this like little snow globe people loved to play in. I remember that all the kids were obsessed with this during Christmas time. We even had this awesome bundle that like kind of lets you blend in with forest like a Christmas tree. Oh, even upstairs open for Christmas time. They had all of these cosmetics. These were like good. These were like really good cosmetics. I remember I still have the Santa hat from when I bought this whole bundle. Now let's go check out forest. Wow, how nostalgic. I can't do this now, but when you were in a server, there were like little ornaments that would spawn on here, and you could grab them and you could either throw them and break them, or you could put them on this Christmas tree and like decorate the tree with your friends. And oh, I love the like little monkey that they put on the trees every year. It's so good. There were even like Christmas presents and gifts that you could throw around. They didn't really do anything, but if you're extremely lucky, you'll get a piece of coal. Oh, I got it. Okay, this is the piece of coal. This is what it looks like. It really does the same thing as all the other presents. It was just like cool. You could like brag to your friends. Oh, I got the piece of coal. Yeah. Even Doug had a little Santa hat. This update was like crazy. There was so much stuff to do, but not too much stuff to where it was like terrible. There's a little like garden with Christmas trees in it. Let's go see how Clouds looked. Oh, in this version, Clouds isn't revamped, but it still has all of the Christmas decorations. This is very interesting. Wow, Clouds used to look so much different. This was crazy. Like the old version of Clouds was so forgotten. I love how everything moves. They even put like a crazy star on top of one of the houses in Clouds. I remember me and my friend were like chilling in this hut making a video. Like these things are so cozy. I just love. They even had like these things. I don't know what they are, but they sound really weird. There are these like Jack and the Beanstalk type of things where you could like, I don't know, just swing around on them and have some fun. I don't really know what these are for, but they really helped me escape from the monkeys in Tag. And then they had this like rotating obstacle course thing over here, which is really neat. It was really hard for me at first. I think it should be easy now. We should be able to beat it. Yes, we got on top of it. And there's this like weird cool thing that moved. That was pretty much it for this update. So let's go to the next one. All right, so the next update we're exploring is last year's beach update. And the reason this update is probably the most forgotten thing ever. Like, I do not remember this at all. This is Old City, and they're like taking this into like a direction where they're like putting new stuff in Old City. They got rid of the old wardrobe and they put in the new wardrobe. They even have like the airplanes and all this stuff. This is so cool, but I barely remember this. I don't even remember there being like party flags up there. And I remember during this time they had two new modes. They had Ambush and Hunt. Well, Hunt wasn't a new mode, it was limited time, but Ambush was a very new mode. The thing about Ambush is that it was really crazy because you could like be invisible in Tag and like tag people. It was chaos. There's a cool little pool on top of Stump here too. We have like the rotating flags. Whoa, are those balloons? The heck? Yo, those are hot air balloons. I'd never seen that before. Oh, and we even have like the slip and slides. Let's go check on some of the other maps. Is Clouds revamped in this version? Oh, Clouds is revamped in this version, but they had this summer camp sign behind it. Whoa, what is this slip and slide? This is awesome. Well, there's not even a swamp map here anymore. That's really weird. I don't think this map changed at all except for some of the signs. Like, this is really cool. It says rotating, even though it's not in rotating for some reason. This is really cool. Like, there's some like really good hand-drawn art here that I feel like was just forgotten. They even had like all these balloons here. The balloons were so good, but for some reason I can't grab them. This is weird because this is like around the time that the computer was moved over here, and so were the cosmetics. The computer and the cosmetics used to be all the way back here in this house thing. On to the next version. On to the next version. All right, the next update that we have is really interesting. It's the basement and revamp update. And if you didn't know, basement did actually get a revamp. It was a limited time. Basically, this is the science experiment update, and they had lots of these cool cosmetics around, but most importantly, the thing in basement. In basement, they have this really cool looking thing where you can go in with your friends, and you can fill up that bottle of soda with some Mentos, and then the entire thing will start rising with acid, and you have to climb out at the top here. It's really fun. I wish I could show you guys, but I can't because you have to be in a server to do it. You come all the way down here and fill this gigantic glass of soda with some Mentos. It was really fun, and the acid would start rising from the floor as soon as you did it. And then as soon as it started rising on the top, there would be like bubbles that you have to hop on to get out onto the rope up there, and then you could get a secret cosmetic. I don't know if you can see it very well, but this is the shirt that you could get. It was like a shirt with like a green splatter on it. I'm unfortunately not able to try it on. The shirt costed about 1,000, which at the time I thought was pretty dumb. You unlocked the cosmetic from the challenge, so you shouldn't have to pay for it. And they also had this cool DLC, the mad scientist hat. It had a ray gun, some weird thing over here, and this like lab coat. And I'm pretty sure it was like $30, but it came with 10,000 shiny rocks. So in my opinion, if you like the cosmetic, it was pretty worth it. The second floor is also open in this version, which is weird because there's not really anything up here. They had awesome stuff like the paper airplane, the magnifying glass, and even the stopwatch you see some people use. They even had this like box fort thing. There's a little penguin on top of it. I think this update was also about the time that like paintball was like actually like the decent thing that was like getting kind of popular, which is cool. This was also around the time where Christmas was almost about to start up, so they had this nice winter update in between, and I think this looks really good. I had a few decent snowball fights in here. There's also lots of stuff in basement that I haven't really mentioned, like these test tubes or these like beakers. There's even art of the update, like these two monkeys with lab coats, or Monkey Einstein. When this thing came out, everybody thought that we were getting a space update. Same with this and this. Dang, gorillatag really went all out on the space update teasers, and we still never got one. Maybe it will happen someday. In this update, whenever you fell into the acid, you would turn into acid like this. This update is insanely cool, but I've already talked about most of the things in it, so let's move on to the next update. Alright, the last super crazy map that we have is the Slides beta map, and this map is really weird because, well, there's lots of weird glitches and things that you can do with it, but this was released like almost 4 years ago, which I find crazy to think about. This update was pretty cool. I think Lemming was testing out the sliding for mountains, and it works really well. This is a lot of fun. I'm pretty sure there's a glitch that you can do with the slides where it will like launch you if you kind of like, I don't know, pull your hand in like this or something. Whoa, what the? Yo, that's sick. So during the time that this update was out, it was in beta, and the way that you would get it is you would go on your like meta app and then go to gorillatag and then like click on the version numbers and switch your version of the app, which is really weird because people on the Slides beta couldn't connect to lobbies that are people on the normal version, so it just kind of like stayed separate from the game. And during the time, there was also a third beta where you could play the hunt game mode. So there was the regular hunt beta, and then there was the Slides beta that had hunt with it. And this version has stuff that was like just so minimal. Like there's the beach isn't there anymore. Nothing's here anymore. Not even the skate park. Let's go check out the cosmetics for this version. What the heck? Yo, there are no cosmetics. Why is city blocked off? This is creepy. Whoa, this is weird. There's no cop course. What the heck? What is going on? There wasn't any basement either during this time either, which I find really weird. During this update, you couldn't even grab snowballs either. They just hadn't added snowballs yet. What do you guys think this snowman's name should be in the comments below? Tell me.